Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time of tuning into my channel, you're welcome. I really do appreciate. I am Abisola Garuba Olatilu, a Nigeria-based creator, content creator, and I bring content on faith, lifestyle, relationship, and marriage. And to my subscribers, I want to say a very big thank you. Thank you for always viewing my video from the day one. I really appreciate. God bless you all. So today there's this question I'll be answering. I was being asked at a point, and the question is, how long should a Christian courtship last? A courtship last before marriage? Yeah. I would like to say something that my opinion or any my advice today would strictly be on. It will just be within the context of a Christian courtship. Yes, a Christian courtship. So, and I want to say that biblically it is right. Courtship is right biblically. The place of knowing each other, getting to know each other before marriage is actually biblical in the scripture. Yes, and we can see that through the life of Joseph and Mary. They were courting before the Holy Spirit interrupted the relationship. Yes, they were at the phase of a stage of courtship before Jesus came in. Yes, so that's all about that. So I want to say something that there is no rule, or the Bible did not state that this is how long a courtship should be. No, there is no rule that states this is how long a courtship should be. And I want to say that it's not how far but how well. Yes, it's not how far but how well. The overall goal is to have a peaceful and happy marriage. Yes, and courtship is very important because it's a phase where you just get to know each other, build solid friendship. I used to say that every relationship is a marriage in embryo, and whatsoever you lay as a foundation in your relationship will be what your marriage will stand on. So that is why the place of courtship should not just be taken for levity. Don't just see it as if, oh, we are courting. Everything you do in that relationship matters. You have to be intentional about that relationship. Yes, you have to be intentional about that relationship, and you need to nourish it on a very strong foundation, because every other thing that comes in marriage lies on it. So now to the question, how long should a courtship relationship be before marriage? Like I said, there's no rule that states how long a relationship should be, but in my own best opinion, I just still feel like it is very, very important you take your time to know, at least just have a basic understanding about the person you are going to marry, the family you are going into again. So you need time to get yourself prepared for what is ahead of you. However, that being said, I would like to establish the advantages of, or probably the disadvantage of knowing this. I'll just try to state some disadvantages of probably courting for a shorter period, and the advantages. I'll just say something little about each of it, so then I feel like you'll be able to decide on your own what you are into. Over time I've had people tell me, oh, they had their conviction and they courted for 6 months. They courted for 6 months or 3 months, and they just enter into the marriage like that. Well, to me, I feel I'm not in I don't really support. I can't really give my younger sister or anybody that kind of advice to. Probably you met someone in 3 months, a total stranger, in 3 months or in 6 months, and you have 6 months courtship and you move into the marriage like that. Well, I want to say something that it's not about the years in the relationship. Actually, it's not about the number of years that count, but those things you people are able to build together in that relationship is what matters most. But sometimes, for example, and I want to say that I'm not nullifying anybody's conviction. Probably they can't get married in 3 months or in 6 months. I'm not in any way nullifying. Everybody's conviction is peculiar to them, and it's all fine and good. But I just feel like when a total stranger comes to you, someone you do not know, we don't know them from anywhere, and probably it comes to you in 3 months, and in the space of 3 months, you guys are already planning marriage, and probably after 3 months, you guys got married. I feel like every relationship has a stage. every relationship it has stages, and you should be at a stage before you can decide to marry someone. You should be at a stage whereby your emotions is not the one deciding for you, or is not deciding who to marry should go beyond how you feel or your feelings. But what sustains the marriage is an unconditional love, where you have the emotional feeling, the conditional feeling has grown to a unconditional love. Though it takes time, with time you grow to love the person unconditionally. But now that's what I'm saying, that in the phase whereby at a 3 month stage of your relationship, you already decided, like, you already done the wedding, you are at the phase in your life whereby the emotions are still strong at that time. So I feel you just still need time to ensure that, okay, let the relationship pass through those stages of probably misunderstanding. Then you people see how you people handle those misunderstanding, get to know each other's tendencies with time. So it's not like, I feel like a relationship at 3 months is still, it's still at the emotional feeling stage. It's still at the emotional feeling stage whereby both of you are in contact. You guys talk 24/7. You know, even if it's not 24/7, like the way the mushy aspect of it is still there. And funnily, when you enter into marriage like that, and you probably still expect that kind of thing to still be there, and probably some other aspect of life just shook you guys up, and you're feeling like, no, you don't feel this, you don't feel the love towards the person again. So I feel before deciding to marry someone, you should be at a phase whereby you people have had misunderstanding, you people have been able to resolve it. What you feel for the person has gone beyond midnight call or early morning text message, all those mushy aspects. It has gone way past all those levels. You're at a phase whereby, yes, you've seen the person's tendencies, he has seen your tendencies, and still what you have for the person is not changing. You know, as at 3 months, you'll probably still be all over each other with some moments and everything, and deciding marriage with someone on that basis, and probably any little issue now happen, you start feeling like, oh, you don't know the person, or the person has changed. So the place of building good friendship in courtship is very, very important, because even in marriage, when people have your low moments, you'll be able to as in what refreshes your memory is those good days you've probably spent together. And for someone that married in 3 months, you met a total stranger and you married them in 3 months. In that 3 months, you people do not communicate. You don't have deep communication. The only communication you probably be thinking of in that 3 months is how you will marry, your marriage plans, marriage plans, nothing more than just the marriage plans. I feel like even if you had your conviction about the person, even if you prayed and God gave you the go ahead, this is the person, this is the right man, I still feel like you put there's the place of you giving yourself time, putting your conviction to test. Give it a test of time. Like, just give yourself time. I still don't buy to the idea of meeting someone in 6 months and you still marry the person. Just still give yourself time. Now, well, I would say that for at least, just give yourself time of at least a year before you marry, so that you'll be able to just build that solid friendship with each other. That's like within that space of 1 year, you people already planning your wedding, you're getting to meet the parents. There's no rush anywhere. You're not putting yourself any under undue pressure, because sometimes what you neglect in relationship, you still meet it in marriage. So it's not like everything will not just come as a shock to you. So this is the way it is, this is the way, you don't know that he used to do this, so that you won't get all those shock. And probably in the first year of your marriage, and you start feeling like, I didn't see this part of him, it's because you didn't give yourself time to get to know the person. I feel a place of courtship is a time for you to have deep conversation, how you want your home to be, when you plan to have your children, a lot of things to discuss. Like, with time, you get to discuss it, and you get to know each other's family. So, I used to tell people, it's not about just getting married to a guy. You need to know the kind of family you are entering into. You need to know so many things. You need to get yourself prepared for the journey that is ahead of you. Adventure, if you have known the person before, let's say you've known the person in church, or maybe somewhere, there are some people that you've known them before, but you people have never had that deep conversation on relationship matter. And that one is totally different. Probably if I had known the person before, and maybe in 7 months or 8 months then we got married, that is totally fine. But in a situation whereby you do not know anything about it, the person is just a total stranger, or you met someone on social media, hey God, you need to give yourself time to make your research very well. Someone is coming, let's say you met the person at the age of 30, and within 3 months you just want to marry them just like that. You didn't ask yourself, what have they used the past 30 years of their life to do? So if a total stranger is just coming to you and you feel like you had your conviction, please give your conviction that test of time. Take your time. When I tell people to take their time in a relationship, it's not like take your time and take everlasting time. That's not what I mean. Like, just at least 1 year, just build that good communication with each other. Just take your time to probably discuss about a lot of things and properly plan for the wedding. Yes, I said wedding, for the marriage. Yes, for the marriage. And that being said, does that all mean, in me taking my time to know my partner in a relationship or building friendship, does that all mean we should use 10 years to court? Personally, I am not of the opinion of cutting for 9 years, 8 years, 20 years. I don't know why. I'm not just into something like that. Yes, I have friends that they had 9 years relationship and they are doing fine in their marriage. But I feel like it wasn't like 9 years like that. They've been cutting since, like, let's say they are 200 level days. And in a relationship, when both of you discuss things, you know when you want to probably marry. Like for me, I used to tell myself, before I even consider marriage, I'll have had my first degree, I'll have my work. Understand what I'm saying? So if you are at that phase, probably if you are not at that phase of your life yet, probably you've not gotten your finance stable and everything, you'll probably take a longer time to cut. But then I feel like the courtship as a purpose is because you have a plan. So for some of my friends, I'm like, they've been cutting since 200 level days, and they are probably thought of having getting to do their wedding before after their first degree. And during those years, but however, what does that mean? Because they've cutted for 9 years or 10 years, they've known each other they've known everything about their husband or their guy, then no, it's a very big no. See, there's some experience that comes, there's some knowing that comes by experience. Some people believe that God is Jehovah Jireh, God provides from them. All they know about God is the experience of the fact that when they were broke at a particular point in time, God came through for them. So that is some people's that is all they know about God. They can convince you to that God is the Jehovah Jireh. Now, when it comes to God, my healer, it takes someone that has been sick and God came through for him or her to hold on to that conviction or to that experience of God is my healer. So there are some dimensions of knowing, even in courtship, that you will not know until you are inside that marriage. Yes, I remember one of my mentors once told me like that have you been pregnant? I was complaining about something way back. It was like, have you been pregnant before? Has your guy gone broke before? Like, if people are not able to pay to your children's school fees, do you know his tendencies at that time? Have you been pregnant? Do you know how you'll be due? And I was like, no. So I'm just using that as an example. So there's some experience that come in marriage that you will not experience it in probably when you are cutting. Now, so many things that you will not even expect that can cause issues. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not about, that's why I said it's not about how far, but how well. At least to some extent, you know this person's primary tendencies. So if there are other things that now start showing up in the marriage, you know that, even if this guy is doing this, it's because of this situation. This is not who he is. But even if you date the person for 10 years or 20 years, that has not, in courtship, that has not enough to say, probably, yes, I took my time in courtship and I've known everything about. There's some knowing that comes by experience. Like, there's some experience in marriage and probably both of you have to be going through period. Probably the wife is pregnant, start having some reaction, some body changes, how you react to it. It did happen in courtship. So you keep getting to know each other along the way, even in marriage, and so many other things are coming in. But what I'm just trying to say is that it's not about the length, it's not about wasting each other's time. What in relationship, in courtship, whatever is keeping you guys back in getting married should be for mutual benefit. Like, you shouldn't be out of selfish reason. You shouldn't be out of selfish reasons. And I think one of the reasons why people still take longer time in courtship, now let's look at what Bible said about we have this conversation to come just to bust stress my point. We had this conversation in church, my Bible in subgroup units in church, Sunday school units in church, and this topic pop up amidst us, and I asked them a question that day, and I think they opened the book of First Corinthians chapter 7. Is it First Corinthians chapter 7 verses 2, and the Bible was saying that, okay, in order to avoid fornication, go and marry. I think it's just that chapter, First Corinthians 7 verses, is it 3 or 2 now, that if you to avoid fornication, in order to avoid being born, go and marry and everything. And I asked, does that all mean just because you want to avoid fornication, you want to have the do, you should just go and marry because of that? No. The Bible even support that everybody should have their wife. Yes, everybody should have their wife in order to avoid fornication. Do the needful at the necessary time when you need to do it, but it shouldn't be like the down does not mean because you just don't want to be having the thing, you just go into marriage like that. It's not enough to go into marriage. Before considering marriage, there are things you need to probably have, or just at the maturity phase of your life, when both of you are matured, your finance is settled, if people have your finances on check, if people can cater for yourself, because you don't want to marry now and start asking your parents for money. If you're at a phase whereby that is being sorted out, probably you want to study more and everything, you have old grip of all of that, there's no point still prolonging your courtship. Just do the needful. Legalize your, I see it as being, I legalize my courtship. Just legalize your courtship so you enjoy your time with your partner while both of you still pursue the same goal. Yes, pursue your purpose. That's why the place of knowing your purpose in life is very, very important before marriage. So knowing your purpose, keep pursuing. The Bible says one shall chase 1,000 to 10,000. So coming together should not be as a blockage. Mine should not be seen as a blockage to you, any of your progress. No, it should even be seen as a time to still pursue more goals in life. So when you are with the right partner. So that being said, I just feel like there is no length to which courtship should last. Whatever both of you are involved in, you guys know it. Anything the two partners are doing should be for the growth of each other. So whatever you are deciding, if you are deciding to still court for 5 years, 6 years, whatever it is, just ensure you're doing it in God's way. If people are keeping to every of God's instruction in the relationship, doing it the right way. Yes, I remember that was what my mentor told me. So you need to do it the right way. Until you do it the right way, you will not get results. So do it in God's way. Then don't take too much of your time before legalizing your courtship. Yes, before legalizing your courtship, before doing the needful. If it's about finance, just try and settle everything you need to put on the table. And I've heard a lot of people say that, okay, why they've not married is because of money for the wedding. Sometimes I used to ask people, how can you work for 5 years? Let's say in 5 years you earn 10 million naira, and in just one day you want to spend that 10 million naira for just one day. I've seen people like, and if I can marry, I'll wait for 5 years, but by that time I'll have enough money and have cars and have all of that. Fine, they are good. But if you believe in your partner, if you believe in yourself, if you believe in the integrity of God's involvement in your life, even with the little you have, you can get something done and keep pushing in life. Yes, so that's it, guys. I'll be ending it here. It's not alpha, but I will. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel for more content on relationship. And please don't forget to share my videos for others to see. I really do appreciate you. Thanks for watching my videos. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye.